Sony RX100. Have you guys checked out this camera?
I can't say that I have. I can't say that
I took a brief look at it when I saw you got one.
It's interesting. I did not expect to be buying a pocket camera in 2017. I just did not expect that to be happening. But the problem that I was having is I'm doing a lot more with YouTube and vlogging, and I wanted something that had actually decent image quality. I end up using my iPhone a lot because it's what I have, which is getting better. But the trouble is when you're like, early in the morning shooting sunrise and stuff, it just doesn't work. And so you can either pack video lights to make the iPhone footage look good, or you could get a camera that just actually works well in low light. So this is a 1-inch sensor. So it's significantly smaller than APS-C, but it's, a lot bigger than something like a cell phone camera. And the trouble that I've been having is when you're vlogging, you need an LCD that gets into selfie mode. You need something that can get where you can see the LCD from the position of the person that's being taken. I can't even talk. You guys know what I mean.
You want to be able to check your composition and make sure that you don't have anything in your teeth.
Exactly. I don't know how many videos I've recorded where I record the video and then everything looks good. I go back to the camera after recording the whole tutorial and like the crop line was like across my nose. It's like, dang it. So I want something that I could see. I almost passed over this camera in the beginning because on the back, it looks like it's just a tilty LCD, but it tilts all the way up 180 so you can actually see yourself over the top of the camera. So really cool for that. So I want to just give you a very quick and dirty review, and if you guys have any questions, I can tell you what I know about it so far. First of all, the image quality is truly impressive. I took several still photos just to kind of compare it with my serious camera as we were out shooting, and a couple of them ended up being my favorites from the trip. They were on par with the serious camera as long as the light wasn't super dark. I mean, it's a 1-inch sensor, so you wouldn't want to do night photography with this, but sunrise, yeah, it's good. It's gonna be just fine.
Does that mean it can do manual then?
Yeah, you can do manual. The controls are, it doesn't have great controls for doing manual, but they're okay. You at least get your mode dial on the top, and then you can kind of get into, you don't even have to get into menus. You can just kind of move things around and use the scrolly wheel. It's not super fast, but you can. There's no touch screen. No touchscreen. You can't release a camera in 2017 without a touchscreen, especially a point and shoot. So that was a little disappointing. And the batteries are small. They're worse than my Fuji for sure. Wow. It's also a little bit slippery to hold the edges. They need a little grip pad or something on it. And the other negative, we'll get all the negatives out of the way right away, is pricey. This is not something, it's expensive. It's almost $1,000 for a pocket camera. It's an expensive guy, but it's a really popular camera. A lot of people are buying these, especially vloggers, because it's small, really good 4K video. I mean, exceptional 4K video. I compared this to like my Canon G20s, and the video on this, G20 is a dedicated video camera that costs about the same, and this little pocket cam makes significantly better video than the Canon G20. So I was really happy about that. It's sharp. The problem with the pocket cameras usually is, one, the dynamic range is just blah. It's just terrible, and so it's tough to get a nice still from it. And two, they're never super sharp because the camera manufacturers want to advertise that 20 times zoom and stuff. I saw one this week that was 600 times zoom, insane. And so they're not sharp. But this is just 10 to 20 times zoom, or up to 10 times zoom, and it's very sharp. I was really, 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 really happy with that. It also has USB charging. Do you guys have any cameras with USB charging?
Nope.
No. Well, my GoPros.
Oh yeah, GoPros. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, my GoPros. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it. I don't know what you guys think of it. Some people have been complaining about it because sometimes it's an excuse for the camera manufacturers to not give you a charger, which is kind of cheap.
That's exactly
But
right.
when you can charge the battery in the camera, it means when you're out on the go and stuff, you can just pop in a USB and you're good to go. You don't have to you forgot the charger at home,
Right.
things like that. All the time I'll see somebody post on our Facebook group for the Treasure Valley in Idaho here, and somebody will say, I'm on a trip and I forgot my charger. Does anybody have a Canon charger? Got to rescue. And so it solves that problem. You can just charge it right in the camera. So I really do like that, but it is a little cheap that they don't give you an additional charger with it. The menus do seem sensible, easy to navigate. And the other problem with it is the audio quality gets a C for me. It just sounds like you're in a tin can, not great audio quality. So
Isn't that going to be the case though with any tiny little camera like that?
yeah, it probably is. It's a little worse than I'd expected. It's certainly worse than my iPhone, the audio quality. So I wasn't happy with that. That's important to me, but I do have my Tascam DR10L that's kind of a substitute anyway. But that was a letdown.
So speaking of audio quality, does it have any kind of like audio input on the side of the camera or something where you can connect a microphone to it?
Fine question. I have not seen one. I was just checking. No, we got micro USB. Nope, don't see it. I don't see any mic in, but I don't know. For me, I don't do it that way anyway, because if I'm going to be putting in different audio and stuff anyway, that means it's going to be an edited video, and it takes only a second to sync up the audio. But
True.
But it would be nice.
Yeah.
And also
So-
no normal hot shoe.
Gotcha. So if you're using, what are some of the advantages for using this for vlogging as opposed to something like a GoPro? Like I do a fair bit of vlogging and stuff now, and my typical setup is either I'm like recording with a lav mic with one of those like Rode Smart Labs connected to my phone, or I have a Rode little micro shotgun connected to my GoPro.
Yeah.
Do you think the video quality is a whole lot better than a GoPro?
During the day, the difference you're going to notice is it's just not quite as distorted. GoPros obviously have a lot of distortion on them. But in the morning and evening, which is when you'd be doing vlogging for photographers, it's a night and day difference in terms of image quality. You can actually see when you're shooting sunrise and stuff. The video in dark conditions was very, very good. And I mean, just generally, I'd say it's significantly sharper as well. I really am impressed with the image quality for a 1-inch sensor.
Nice.
Overall, cool camera, expensive sucker, but if you're like, I guess who I would recommend this for is vloggers and anybody who's serious about traveling light. You're going to Cancun with the family and you're like, I would like to shoot the lighthouse when we're out there too. Perfect. A replacement for DSLR for very few people. I don't really think so. Maybe a street photographer could get away with this instead of a serious camera, no problem. But if you're a landscape guy, wildlife guy, portrait guy, nah, not really.